But in this movie, you saw how much he loved her. He respected her. He treated her with care. And I think that was one thing that Hollywood needed.
The type I'm on you wouldn't understand.
Alright, so for today, guys, I've been hearing a lot of like people just saying how Sinners was not that good of a movie. And I feel like a lot of people are just being very disingenuous about how they truly feel about the movie. I think it's more so it's because of how you came into watching the movie. Like, it's all about perspective. If someone told you that this movie was a 10 out of 10, your mindset is now to see any single flaw of that movie because you want to just let that other person know, hey, this is not a good movie in your eyes because they hyped it up for you. And I think it's just very unfair. If it's a good movie, let it be a good movie. You do not have to critique it because other people did not like it.
Sinners is not the film of the year masterpiece that everyone's telling you. Sinners is not the film of the year masterpiece that everyone's telling you it is. It's still damn good. I just have a pretty big problem with it. But
like, see, that's the thing. Like, because everyone else said it was a good movie, now you have an issue with it. Like, it's just unfair. Like, if you think it's good, just let it be good. It doesn't. You don't have to have that whole issue with the movie because of everyone else. That's unfair, bro.
Well, first, my name is Dawson. I talk about film and TV every single day, so drop me a follow if you haven't
I'm
already.
curious to see what his issue with the movie is.
Let's just get this out of the way. Sinners is a great film. It's a solid 8 out of 10.
But he just said it was a great film. It was a great film. We could have just left it at that, bro.
Film, and I think there's a hell of a lot of good things that I'll talk about quickly. Michael B. Jordan puts on a potential career best performance in a dual role that I think is very...
I have to agree with that, hands down. I think that was one of his best roles of all time, bro. The fact that I honestly thought it was two different people, him portraying two different sets of personalities, that was beautiful, bro.
Very, very impressive. And the same should be said about Jack O'Connell, who I think is a fantastic villain, and the whole supporting cast is really, really good. The film has some really unique scenes and interesting...
That scene at the barn... Oh, side note, if this is a spoiler, like, I'm so sorry I just spoiled a lot for you just now with just what you saw for a second. But if you have not seen the movie Sinners as of yet, please drop a like, comment, and come back another time when you have fully seen the movie. And that way you can at least give your response in the comment section.
Ideas that I think make this film stand out, and it's why people love it so much. It's an original idea in Hollywood. That's rare. And while I'm keeping this spoiler-free, I'm not going to give it credit in the places that I don't think it deserves credit, and that big one is pacing. This film is 2.5 hours long, and admittedly, it doesn't feel like that, but that first hour is slow, and while the build-up could be argued as being necessary, it meant the second half of the film is so fast-paced that it almost felt rushed. The time that the actual vampires appear in the film,
I have to disagree with that point. I felt like the characters in the first part, it needed that time to build. Like, you get to see the relationships with each other twin. Like, how everybody thinks of Smoke. When they're even just talking to Stack, they're like, oh, if I'm talking to Stack, that means it's a more lighthearted conversation. It's more about jokes. Versus when I'm talking to Smoke, it's more serious. It's more down to business. Like, I think that was very much needed. And we even saw, like, Smoke's relationship with his, I don't remember if it's his ex-wife, but when you saw his relationship with Annie, I thought that was a very beautiful moment. It's a very touching moment. You don't see that in Hollywood. A lot of like movies, whenever they have like a thicker black woman, they always try to make jokes of her or like they'll say something to disrespect her. But in this movie, you saw how much he loved her. He respected her. He treated her with care. And I think that was one thing that Hollywood needed. As he said before, it's an original movie to Hollywood. It's not a remake of something. It's not rehashing and rebranding of anything else that Hollywood has ever done before. Like, I like this movie because of what it was doing for black people as a whole.
At least properly, it feels like we're already in the last big set piece, even though that set was on for about 90 minutes, and that's fine. But I just kind of wish we had more time with the vampires before that. Build them up.
Like, I feel like we know vampires enough. Like, only thing that should have been probably touched up on is that some people don't know about the whole, like, vampires having to be invited in. I think for some people, yes, they would have needed that, but we know what vampires are. We don't need the common, We don't need the exposition of, oh my god, these are the vampires of da 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 da. Like, we don't need none of that. Like, we know that they're just here. They're trying to attack. They're trying to build up their numbers in order to take over, attack the KKK. Is what Rennick was saying. Like, he wanted to make just a large group of vampires in order to preserve himself and then even be in touch with his ancestors, because that's what he wanted from Sammy. So I can't agree with that he's saying.
Make them more of a menacing villain, because when we see them, we don't have a reason to care for these characters. Care for again. I also feel like the big end set piece feels a little bit rushed as well, but I don't bad by any means. It's all really, really fun, and I love the nature of vampire is used really effectively here. Sinners is great. Don't think it's a mass. Sinners.
Okay. I mean, yes, it's not a masterpiece, but I feel like this will be a movie that will be talked about for the next few generations.
No, y'all got a 10 premiere yesterday. Yes, let's get a little commotion for the outfit. Let me tell you.
That is a good progress.
Warner Brothers did not pay me. So let me go ahead and give y'all my honest review.
I'm
not a spooky hoe, but I do enjoy some good fantasy. And honestly, anything with black vampires. I think Ryan Coogler is exceptional at creating motifs, highlighting black people and black culture in a way that's not only palpable for all audiences, but also feel very true to black people. It's interesting that the main characters are twins, because this film felt like two different movies sewn together. The first part of the film.
Yeah, that's like another thing. Yeah, like I was trying to get to that point too. Like, yeah, it did feel like it's two different movies, but it was so perfectly well, I wouldn't say perfectly. Like, yeah, it has like a little like things here and there, but like you don't really pay attention to the stitches. Like, that was good.
Film takes time to establish all of its characters and their relationships. The second part of the film is a jam-packed vampire thriller. I also want to point out that I think this is a musical. Not in the Wicked type of way, but closer to something like Idlewild. There is a lot of music in it.
Oh my god, Idlewild. Yo, if you haven't seen the movie, I think that's probably why I like this so much. Idlewild, it stars Andre 3000. It's such a good movie too, bro. Highly recommend you guys watch that too.
All very good. It's anchored by the breakout star Miles Caton, who doesn't even have a photo on IMDb, but honestly blew me away. I was shocked the first time he opened his mouth. This is a period piece, and it's clear that Coogler was dedicated to making this as accurate as possible, considering that it's a vampire story. There's a lot of accent work, and as I mentioned, the first part of the film explores what this town is like and the dynamic between black people and other races. I totally forgot that Haley Steinfeld is a quarter black, and that's honestly a part of her story here. And honestly,
I ain't gonna lie. After the movie, on the way back home, I had to Google. Because there was no way. The way she said, "Well, if you don't get the fuck out of my face," like, it felt black. But I was like, I need to know. Like, are you actually quarter black? Like, she gave it her all. Like, it was as if like she was looking at Shamik more. The way she's like, well, if you don't get the fuck out of my face. Like, yo, it was perfect. The delivery, perfect black woman right there.
I think it's one of the most interesting aspects of the story. Not just her relationship to black people, but the way that it impacts her decision making. Actually, every single person's background, including the Chinese immigrants. Actually, I don't think the Chinese people are immigrants, which, is something I can get into in the spoiler review. As I mentioned, by the time we get to the vampire stuff in the film, characters are built up so well that it creates a sense of anxiety, because the audience will understand how conflict will arise, because you understand the characters enough to know what decisions they're going to make. Ultimately, the film is very good. It's beautifully shot. Everyone is acting their butt off. The music is incredible. And it honestly feels very different from a lot of the other supernatural movies that we have out there. The only critique is that the world building causes the first half to feel a little slow. And for that, I'm going to go ahead and give this film 4 out of 5 Frankie Flames.
We can take a 4 out of 5, because then that would be like a 9 out of 10. That would be a 9 out of 10. So we could take that. But I think a lot of people just felt like the world building in the first half of the movie was slow. And I at this point, I can agree that yes, it could have been moving a little faster in comparison to the second half of the movie, but I still agree though that the first half of the movie needed that slower pace. Like, we needed to see the relationship between everybody in this world. And then seeing Grace's moment where she had to crash out, like, I even understood that. Like, a lot of comments that I've been reading online, I've seen a lot of people just like, yo, these Chinese immigrants just, they want to be in black spaces, but they don't want to suffer with us. But in her defense, Grace just lost her husband. Her husband was telling her, and Remnick were saying how they were going to hurt her daughter at the end of the day. So like, she had to do whatever she could in order to save her child. So like, it was a moment of weakness. And I feel like everyone will always try to comfort another person at their lowest. Grace was always going to be there. She wanted to at least be with her husband. And again, another moment of weakness is when she wants to leave the party with her husband because she just didn't want to be there because of their daughter. Like, she needed to leave in order to make sure her daughter was safe. So again, it is a moment, it's a very, very small moment of weakness, and we have to at least, give her that. Like, that's what I have to just say. But granted, the acting was amazing. Like, I gotta give her that too, bro. I still think this movie was an amazing movie. If you haven't seen Sinners as of yet and you watched this entire video, let me know in the comment section when you do finish the movie, and we can finally talk about it. But I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.